Hello, everyone. It's great to see you all as always. My name is Demi Mohammed, and I am the Public Program Assistant at the Freer Gallery of Art. Today, thank you for joining us for today's special art-based meditation session that is jointly brought to you by the National Museum of Art, Asian Art, the Hirshhorn Museum and Sculpture Garden, and Smithsonian Folkways. Today's meditation will be led by Phil Bender as we focus on songs from the album Songs of the Bardo that features Buddhist-inspired music by Laurie Anderson, Tenzin Chogyal, and Jesse Paris Smith. Today's program is presented in conjunction with the exhibition Laurie Anderson, The Weather, which is currently on view at the Hirshhorn. Again, we thank you for joining us, and I'll pass it to Phil to get us started.
Welcome, everyone. It's wonderful to see you this afternoon. I'm really honored to join you and to take some time together to become acquainted with a work of 21st century auditory and meditative art. Songs of the Bardo. It's a collaboration of Tibetan musician visionary Tenzin Chogyal, artist Laurie Anderson, whose work is currently featured at the Smithsonian's Hirshhorn Museum, the largest U.S. exhibition of her artwork ever, and composer and instrumentalist Jesse Paris Smith. Songs of the Bardo is inspired by the Tibetan Buddhist text, the Bardo Todol, widely known in the West as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. But the Bardo Todol is more accurately translated as liberation by hearing while in the in-between state. The in-between state is a bardo, a gap. In this case, the bardo between dying and rebirth. During this 49-day interval, the Bardo Todol is recited traditionally by a monk or perhaps by a Dharma sister or brother to provide guidance for the consciousness of a dying or deceased person as it encounters a variety of post-death experiences. These experiences provide opportunities to attain liberation from the cycle of rebirth or serve as landmarks on the return to a realm of existence, such as the human realm. Tenzin Chogyal says of Bardo Todol, he says, as I grow older and become more aware of the phenomena of impermanence and death, the Bardo Todol is my constant companion. Each stanza unties a knot from my psyche, and life becomes more precious and death less terrifying. Now, before we listen to a few tracks from the album, let's prepare. So we'll soften our edges a bit and open into still receptive awareness. Get comfortable. You may prefer a seated posture for this brief centering, or if you prefer to lie down, you're welcome to do that. But let's have our eyes open for the moment. If you're seated, allow your seat to be weighty, heavy. And if it feels right, your spine buoyant, erect. If that's not a comfortable position for you, you're welcome to rest back into a chair. Allow your shoulders, your hips to relax around the torso. Now, I would like to bring forward a little exercise in awareness. And to do this, I invite you to bring your hands in front of your heart, something like a bowl shape. And then take one hand away and become aware of the space between the hands. So you look into that gap. And then return the hands toward the heart. and move the other hand away. Now we could focus on the hand, but we're directing our attention to the in-between place, the gap and the stillness there. And return. And then both hands. And return. Now let's do this with our breath. Inhale, one hand opens. Exhale, return. Inhale, the other hand opens. Exhale, return. Inhale both. And exhale, return. Now continue at your own breath pace. And each time the hand opens, creating space, let your attention fill the gap. If this movement of attention is not accessible, use your imagination. Imagine a hand moving, and then the other. We'll do one more round. Then pause with both hands open for a moment. Acclimated to this space. Allow your auditory field to be wide, broad. Awareness open. And then set down your hands. Now adjust as necessary and become still. Eyes closed. Awareness open, relaxed. If you hear words that you do not understand, let them wash over you and continue to listen. Open and aware as our journey begins.
Kunjo sum la gyab su che do la penje sangere sho. Kunjo sum la gyab su che do la penje sangere sho. Kunjo sum la gyab su che do la penje sangere sho.
Homage to the Gurus. Amitabha, infinite light. The Dharmakaya, peaceful and wrathful lotus deities. The Sambhogakaya, Padmasambhava, incarnate as the protector of beings. The Nirmanakaya, Homage to the Gurus. Homage to the Gurus. Homage to the Gurus. Now the sign of earth is dissolving into water. Water into fire. Fire into air. Air into consciousness. Awakened one, do not let your thoughts wander. Now the bardo of the moment before death is dawning. Abandon all grasping, yearning, and attachment. Enter undistracted into clear awareness. Release your consciousness into the space of the unborn mind, leaving this body of flesh and blood. Know it to be a transitory illusion. Now the sign of earth is dissolving into water. Water into fire. Fire into air. Air into consciousness.
Homage now paid to the great teachers, the three bodies of the Buddha, the infinite, the subtle, the manifest. An additional instruction given. Our guide reminds us of life's purpose, our true nature, and our primary task in the Bardo.
Awakened one, do not let your thoughts wander. Having arrived at the time of death, think of nothing but the awakened heart, bodhicitta, love and compassion, and attain perfect enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings, as limitless as space. Recognize the luminosity of death as the Dharmakaya, your own absolute Buddha nature. Now the sign of earth is dissolving into water. Water into fire. Fire into air. Air into consciousness. Awakened one. When your body and mind separate, the luminosity will appear pure and clear, with terrifying brightness, yet hard to discern, shimmering like a mirage on a plain in spring. Do not be afraid of it. Do not be bewildered. This is the natural radiance of your own dharmata, pure emptiness, in which there is no essential substance, quality, or color whatsoever. Therefore, recognize it. Awakened one. A great roar of thunder will come from within the light, like 1,000 thunderclaps simultaneously. Do not be afraid of it. Do not be bewildered. This is the natural sound of your own dharmata. Therefore, recognize it. Listen. Now the pure luminosity of death is dawning upon you. Recognize it. At this moment, your state of mind is by nature pure emptiness, without any substance, quality, or color whatsoever. This is the Dharmata. Samantabhatri, the all-good mother. Your mind is also unobstructed, pure, and vibrant. This mind is the male Buddha, Samantabhadra, the all-good Father. These two, your mind whose nature is emptiness, and your mind which is unobstructed, pure, and vibrant, are inseparable. This itself is the Dharmakaya of the Buddha, your absolute Buddha nature. This mind of yours, in its inseparable clarity and emptiness, in the form of a great mass of light. It has no birth nor death. It is the Buddha of unchanging light. Recognize it. Awakened one. Listen without distraction. Now what is called death has arrived.
Our guide has prompted us to recognize our essential, empty, vibrant, and luminous nature. Yet, we have not. And so our journey continues in the Bardo of death, where we encounter a display of our karmic impressions, projections of our unconscious tendencies that appear as sounds, colors, rays of light. Within them are 5 kinds of primordial awareness, the 5 Buddha families. If we recognize their true nature, enlightenment is realized. If we fear them, our attention will drift to other realms.
If you are afraid, you will escape from the lights of wisdom. and be attracted to the soft lights of the 6 realms of existence. Under the influence of bad karma, you will be attracted to the soft, white light of the gods. Under the influence of aggression, you will be attracted to the soft, smoky lights of the hell beings. Under the influence of pride, you will be attracted to the soft, blue light of the human beings. Under the influence of intense desire, you will be attracted to the soft yellow light of the hungry ghosts. And under the influence of envy, you will be attracted to the soft red light of the jealous gods. They are an obstacle blocking the path to liberation. And if you are attracted to the soft lights, you will circle forever among the 6 kinds of existence. So give up pride, aggression, desire, and envy. Give up your unconscious tendencies. Feel longing for the luminous, brilliant light ray hooks of compassion. Awakened one, listen without distraction. Even though you were shown the light of each of the 5 families, you were bewildered by them. If you had recognized the natural radiance of the wisdom of those 5 families as your own projection, you would have dissolved into the rainbow light in the body of one of the 5 families and become a Sambhogakaya Buddha. So now, watch without distraction. On the 6th day, the 5 families will all appear together, and what is called the 4 wisdoms combined will come to invite you. Recognize them. Beyond those Buddhas of the 5 families, the 8 wrathful male and female guardians of the gates, and the 6 sages will also appear. Samantabhadra and Samantabhadri, the all-good father and mother of all the Buddhas, will also appear. These 42 deities of the Sambhogakaya will emerge from within your own heart and appear before you. They are the pure form of your own projections. So recognize them. The whole mandala, the male and female deities of the 5 families will appear at once. Recognize them, because they are your yidams. Awakened one. Listen without distraction. Awakened one. Listen without distraction.
While we must pause here, more awaits in the Bardo, including a final approach to the dividing line between liberation and return. Which direction we go, we do not yet know. But through the Bardo Todo and its modern rendering as Songs of the Bardo, our generous guides have reminded us of our pure potentiality and limitless compassion, which accompany us in whichever realm we appear. Now, to close this practice, my friends, I invite you to place one hand on the heart, the other hand on top, and to bow to one another in peace. Peace. Peace.